I would walk into boardrooms and many would not believe that this man has such dreams. So I used to run a sports promotion company.
Did you have someone that you were working with at the time?
Yeah, Kanyomozi of Uganda.
Yes.
Many will remember because I identified the potential in him. I'm not claiming that I made him what he is.
Yes.
He's self-made. But like I said, I realized that he wasn't fulfilling his potential.
And you figured out how to position him.
And positioned him, changed the brand, changed everything. And we organized the biggest fight in history. It will always be the biggest. It was the first to be televised. So I was in that side. Then I also do events. I organize events, not only for my wife, because for the things that she has, I do the organization.
Okay,
for
yes.
Lucky's group back and everything. I do the organization. She just shows up. So I have that talent as well, and a few other businesses.
Okay, what's these other businesses? I like the way it says, a few other businesses.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that, you're passionate about music. Have you ever done anything in music as well?
Yeah, I've even never released a song.
What was this?
No, I don't want to. My wife always makes fun of my song. Thank God the CD got lost because it was only one copy.
We need to find it.
I was so happy when it got lost because she used to make fun of me. But I've been more into listening, and I listen to all sorts of music. All sorts of music.
I want to understand. Yeah. I want to know when. When was this? When did you record a song?
Why do you want to take me there? That must have been like 10 years ago. 10 years. So I was visiting a friend in studio. So he was playing something. So I told him, "Oh, I think I can sing."
So you were singing?
Yes. So I decided to sing, and he produced a song. Yeah, but truth is, it wasn't nice.
After that song, you're like, I don't know.
No. This is not where I'm supposed to be. But I think,
kudos to you for trying. Because for so many people, they're like, they
want
to,
and there are people who insist on singing when they actually can't sing. So me, I realized that I can't sing. So I gave it up after one song. Yeah, but there are people who have insisted and they are still torturing us. Yeah.
This is a Twitter person. He says things and we're like, oh my God, can we hide now? No, but it's true. They are definitely, but I guess for some people it's also the dream. If they're determined and they're looking and focusing on something, yeah, they keep going.
Yeah, but at one point you need to do some self-evaluation and say, I want this, but am I really good at it?
Am I good at it?
Yeah, I think that's what's lacking for some people. They don't do that self-evaluation. So me, I did, and I was like, no. That's not my calling.
But we shall find the song somehow. Somehow we shall look for it. But it's nice that you can look back and laugh about it.
Yeah.
Do your kids know that Daddy did a song?
They never listened to it, but they had from their mom. Of course, she's teased me a number of times about it and how my hair was because I wanted to be a Rastafarian. Okay, I had a bit of dreadlocks.
You had dreadlocks?
Because but they never listened to the song.
Okay.
But they've had her teasing
so
me
that was
about
a stage
it.
in your life that must
My
have been
daughter
interesting.
up to now still asks me, Dad, we heard you had a song. Where is it? But I made sure the CD disappears forever.
Forever. You destroyed it.
Yeah.
You did not destroy it.
The good thing is that there was no file on any other storage device.
This is unfortunate because normally once it's online, we will find it. But it's nice to hold on to. Those are good memories. Those are very good memories. So when did you meet Lucky?
I met Lucky, but around, it's coming to 10 years actually. Yeah, 10 years. We were both working at KFM.
Okay.
She used to do a show in the evening. What was it called? I think K-Drive. So I had updates in the show. But again, of course, we were working in the same place. She would come in around midday. I remember she would come in around midday to prepare for our show, which used to start at around 3 p.m. Yeah, so when I joined, we became friends. I think she liked me from the first time. And liked me as a friend, and
Okay.
I also liked her. So
As a friend.
as a friend, we got along, became friends, very close friends, and I mean, there's a lot we shared as friends. Because I actually remember first time, my first girlfriend, when we broke up, I went to her, hey, you know, this has happened, this chick. So she gave me some advice, you know, you handle it this way, and things like. So I mean, we used to confide in each other. There are things she used to tell me what was going on in her life. I used to open up to her. So we were friends. Actually, some people started confusing us for brother and
But
sister.
oh, at that
Yeah,
point.
especially the people who didn't work at KFM. So we got so close as friends, as brother and sister. Then along the way, something happened. I honestly don't know what happened in me. Yeah, so I first fought the feeling because I knew her. She's a very tough woman, and I mean, if she decides to be tough, she can, even though we were friends. So I started developing feelings along the way. Then at first I tried to fight them. Then till one day, I walked up to her and told her how I felt.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I told her. Of course, I still remember that facial expression, like, "Are you mad?" She first looked at me without saying any word. She always must be, "You must be mad," because but the kind of relationship we had built, I think her fear was like she didn't expect that from me, or her fear
Oh,
was
so
like,
she didn't see it coming
yeah,
at
she
that
didn't
point.
see it coming. But I explained it to her. Of course, the first time was disaster. She told me off properly and didn't even want to talk to me, I think, for 2 days. She was like, "How can you do that? I've been with what we have. You're like my brother," and things like that. Yeah, but I mean, I never gave up.
Clearly.
Yeah, I never gave up. Made another attack, which was also not successful. Continued until she started, I think, realizing that I was serious about it, and I think she read that my intentions were genuine, and my feelings were genuine. Yeah, and here we are.
And here we are,
Yeah,
many years later, 10
yeah.
years later.
10 years later, we're still
Okay.
together. Yeah.
All right. And you have some beautiful children as
Yes,
well.
yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
and we were blessed with children even before we became.
aha.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, you had a traditional ceremony, if I
Yes, we did.
remember, because I do remember an interview that you did where you talked about not wearing a ring, and that's something to do with. Is it the traditional ceremony or is it religious reasons?
Religious reasons.
Okay, religious reasons. Because I noticed that a lot of men and women don't wear rings for different reasons.
Yeah, different reasons. People have their different reasons, but that's why I also don't wear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, being a sports fanatic, you're doing sports on radio, then you're part of sports shows on TV. Did you start getting, and then you said you were doing all these events as well, so you were organizing all these, different events. When did you start getting into, like, sports administration now? Like, because now, as a president of the Uganda, Sports Press Association, when did that all start?
That started, I think, around 2008,
Okay.
when I was asked to be Assistant Secretary General of the association.
Okay, okay.
And I think somehow my leadership qualities always show up. Even at university, I was part of leadership for our evening class, organizing the entire class, which was a big class. So I've always been a leader, and I believe I've been a born leader. So I was approached to work as Assistant Organizing Secretary, which was appointed. So I was appointed. That was way back in 2008. So I served my 2 terms as Assistant Organizing Secretary. Then after that, I contested to be Secretary General of the association.
Okay.
I lost the first time. I came and contested the second time and I won. So I served 2 terms as Secretary General. And after that, I decided to go for the top seat, which is the presidency that I won 2 years ago. I completed serving my first term, which is 2 years. So I'm serving my last term, which is 2 years. And it's the last term because I'm not intending on to amend the constitution.
Yes.
The constitution says 2 terms. So I'm going to serve my 2 terms. And that's how I got into leadership for the Uganda Sports Press Association, which I'm proud of because it's an association that I've been proudly associated with. It's the biggest journalists association, not only in Uganda, but also in this region.
Really?
And it has principles that have kept it standing up to now because it was formed in 1970. So for me to be able to contribute to that is a very big pleasure.
Okay. Imagine coming home to a vacation each day, to a place of pure serenity, a place of pure luxury for you to entertain and unwind. At Jacana Heights, dreams come true. Take your pick from spacious 1, 2, or 3-bedroom apartments and luxurious 4-bedroom penthouses, built to international standards with fine, exceptional finishing. Located on Konge Hill, Buziga, with incredible views and a fresh breeze from the nearby Lake Victoria. It's a place for your body, soul, and mind with a wide array of amenities. Contact us for more information. Jacana Heights, luxury hilltop living. So when you look at the sports in Uganda, I mean, if you look back at 10, 15 years, there's always been different squabbles, misunderstandings. A lot of people say we do not have enough support from the government. And as someone who's been part of this association, and of course you've been in there, seeing what, you know, not most people when they think of sports in Uganda, they think of football, but there's so much more than football. Yes. Seeing that, do you think there's been some progress over the last few years?
Not really, because the government honestly has not been supporting sports enough. And it's not that there is no money to support sports, but it's looked at as a by the way, because there is still this mindset that sports is a purely leisure activity, but it's a big industry. If you look at if you if you look at other countries, it's huge. It's a $1 billion industry, and it's unfortunate that we haven't realized that. And by the time we wake up, it might be too late. Well, there's been some support going to football, for example, some 10 billion shillings, but that's still very little. And that 10 billion shillings is part of the 26 billion shillings that is allocated to the entire sports sector. So football takes 10, which it leaves the others with the 16, and there are over 50 plus associations. So there's need, but that also comes from the goodwill. If especially if the president is not so into sports, that happens. For example, you see Rwanda now have so many stadiums. They have a state-of-the-art indoor stadium simply because of the passion of the man at the top. So until that comes to Uganda, it's going to be the same story. And sports, the way it should be supported, shouldn't be through who meets the president. Because how who forgot that money is they got a chance to meet the president and convinced him that they needed 10 billion shillings. So what happens to cycling, who will not get the opportunity to meet the president?
I mean, we saw what happened with netball. The netball team needed so much support, and it's only until they started doing well that people started paying attention.
And the sad thing is that there's a lot of talent in Uganda. Most of the things we've won, even with the athletes, the Kiprotichis, the Joshua Cheptegei, there's not been a deliberate effort. Most of them have been like accidental. But there is talent which needs to be nurtured, and if they cannot invest in it, then trust me, Uganda is going to produce many world champions across different sports because there's talent that is spread across.
I mean, we've seen it with tennis, especially athletics. What are some of the, like, you know, when you look at the different kinds of sports out there, a lot of people are now looking at motocross as well. I see a lot of support and more people getting into motocross. What are some of the sports that you're seeing that are really starting to grow and catch in Uganda?
Motocross is one of them, and I'm impressed with what they are doing. But it's also the individual effort. It's mainly the parents of these kids. And why I think I'm saying it has big potential, because sport you have to start from a tender age. And for the motocross guys, they are nurturing them from an
4-year-olds, 4
years. Yeah. So by the time a kid is 13, they're already good at what they are doing. That's what you don't see in all the other sports disciplines. But motocross has been mainly the effort of the parents. You have the motocross families, the Blake family, the Orland, and all the others. Now Wekesa is also into it.
Yeah.
So motocross is one of them. The other sport where Uganda is hugely talented is boxing, but there has not been much support to it.
Okay.
Netball. Uganda is a netballing nation. Rugby, there have been strides being made. So there's basically need to just support sport and provide funding and provide the right structures through which this funding can be channeled to
You're
sports.
right. You're absolutely right. Top leadership needs to make an effort, but also they need to invest in sports in schools.
Definitely.
Because we need to get people in when they're young.
Yeah, when they're young, because if a kid starts playing at 15, chances of them being successful are very limited.
Yes.
You have to start at an early age, and that's the challenge. Now, sports in schools has to be supported because without the academies, schools have always provided the platform for the kids to perform sports. But also, there's the challenge of the education curriculum or the education system in Uganda,
Yes.
where you have kids learning from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. When are they going to get the time to play? For us, we were lucky that we would end class early.
And then we'd go for extracurricular.
And then go for extracurricular activities. And that doesn't happen now. But also the schools these days, I mean, any building can become a school. Some don't even have space for a netball court or a volleyball court.
They basically have like a little cement courtyard.
Yes, it's basically the building and the parking. So how are kids in that school ever going to take part in sports? So there are challenges that need to be addressed from a pure administrative level. If you're giving certificates to school, why don't you say that for a school to get a certificate, it should have at least a volleyball court or a netball court, or at least an open area where kids can play.
Yeah, an open area, a field where kids can play, whatever. At least have some kind of physical activity.
Yeah.
Yes, that is something that is truly lacking. Because if a child comes from a home where there is no space, and then they go to school and it's the same situation, I mean, they'll never even know what their talent might be. So in terms of opportunities available, because I also find that, there are some opportunities, but people don't know about it, parents don't know about it, schools maybe don't know about it. Do you see some opportunities for young, talented, sports players that people don't know about?
Yeah, there are opportunities. They are available.
Because, you mentioned, for example, netball, but if it's not a school where maybe the people are playing netball, where would they go?
There's nowhere, because unless you're good enough to train at a club, which obviously can't happen if you've not been training. So there are a few sports where, for football, now rugby, cricket, where there are programs, holiday programs for school-going kids. But then there are others where there are no such programs. So the kids do not have the platform to showcase their talent or improve themselves. And I mean,
so what can we do better?
It has to come from the government. I know Ugandans were used to running to the government for everything. Government itatuyambye, but it still has to come from the government. Like I said, if the education system is going to change, that's a government thing to say we are revising this. Let kids learn from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes.
Then the other 2 hours, let them use them for sporting activities. That's how you're going to give these kids that opportunity, because they won't have the chance to go to academies or the holiday programs, some of which do not exist.
Exactly, especially in different areas of the country. As a parent also, are you supporting your children? Are any of them sporty?
Yeah, the boy is sporty, but he's a bit distracted. he's distracted a little bit, but he likes football.
Okay.
And I've seen something in him. He actually has a very good left foot, and I'm supporting him because there are many ways to start supporting him. First of all, interest him in the game. So he picked interest, and he loves Messi, Ronaldo. So one day he said, "Hey, but Daddy, can I get a Ronaldo shirt?" So I went and got him a Ronaldo shirt, a Messi shirt, and things like that. I'm enrolling him in a football academy.
Okay.
He was supposed to start last year, but he had a few issues with his health. He had surgery, and I didn't want to take him immediately, but I'm going
let
to
him
enroll
recover.
him in an academy and give him that platform. But that's not to say that I'm going to tell him you have to be a footballer.
Of course.
I'm
You're
just
just
going
supporting
to,
this.
yeah, supporting him. For the girl, the girl must have taken mommy's genes because she's more of a dancer than yeah, but like I said, because I'm a sports person, they don't have to be sports people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they want to, I will support them. I want to support them in every way that I can. I want to support my kids. I want to be there for them in every way. And one thing that drives me is what will they say about me when I'm gone? Because I mean, right now I'm living my life for them. It's because I've like lived my life. So I want them to have, when they're talking to their friends, oh, our father was great. I learned this from my father. My father supported me when I wanted to do this. Yeah.